Right, we've done chest and back moves. We're now going to work on shoulders. Shoulder muscle here, and also what's called the trapezius muscle, which is the big thick muscle at the back of the neck. Okay? Very simple, straightforward one for this. Involves dumbbells, or you can also do the same move on the machine. Again, it's a press action, so you're pushing the weight away from the body. Do it. I always do this seated if I'm going to do this at all, because it protects the lower back. If you stand up and try and push the weight over your head, it does arch the back a bit, so try and do it always seated. Sit yourself down, weights against the shoulders, shoulders pulled back into the bench, on one arm at a time. You take a big deep breath, and then push it down. This alternate dumbbell shoulder press. You can do this exercise with both arms together. It is more difficult, it takes a bit more balance. So I would normally start off by doing single arm presses for a while, and then to progress it, you could go into double arm presses using the same weight. It's a bit harder. It's very straightforward. Keep the weights nice and tight. And push it. Okay. Next exercise for shoulders is also one that works the trapezius muscle as well. This big, thick, diamond-shaped muscle at the back of the neck. You pick up a bar, could be a straight bar, could also be cables on a machine, any kind of straight bar. You space your hands about thumb width apart on the bar. Keep it nice and tight to the body, keep the head up. Whenever you do an exercise stood up, you always assume a position what we call soft knees, which is the knees not locked back. Bend the knees slightly, it saves the lower back from taking stress. And all you do, keep the head up, take a big deep breath, and lift the bar up to the top of the chest. Keep it close to the body on the way down. This is called an upright row. Hits the shoulders quite hard, but when it sits at the top, it actually sits on the trapezius muscle, which is working quite hard, so you feel this quite in the back of the neck. Okay. One last exercise for shoulders is what's called a lateral raise. Very straightforward, again, do it stood up or seated. 2 light dumbbells, because you won't use much weight on this. Down by the sides, keep the head up, shoulder blades back, big deep breath, and raise the weights to the side. They want to come level with about your shoulders, ears, something like that. And this is called a lateral raise or a side raise. To one side. Okay? Okay. Next workouts will be on your triceps. These are muscles at the back of the arms here. The main thing that the triceps does, it extends the arm away from the body on this hinge here on the elbow. Its 2 moves involve actually a throwing move like that, or a pushing move. And both moves actually work various aspects of the triceps harder than the other, so I tend to sometimes use both in a workout. Your standard move would be something, what's called a triceps press down, which I'll show you what it is. There's a variety of bars that you can use for the hand spacing for the triceps, but I'll use a standard one, which is a straight bar like this. But you may come across angle bars like that, or possibly even ropes. They all do pretty much the same kind of thing. What you'll do, again, you space your thumbs about thumb width apart to get the right spacing. Don't want them too wide or too narrow. Again, stand, relax. You normally have a machine against for this, cables or something like this, but I'll show you some dumbbell variations in a moment. And all you do, big deep breath, pull the weight into position so the arms are locked out straight. I prefer to do this with my back to the machine so I can lean back slightly, so I'm not using my shoulder weight to hold the weight down. Arms away slightly, wrists nice and tight, knees soft. Take a big deep breath. Just let the forearms run up to the top, keep the elbows in place, and push the weight down again. And this is a triceps press down. And this is part of the most standard exercise you'll find in a triceps workout. Slight variation on that, I'll just change this over. Will be to use a rope. And what the rope does, it allows the hand to turn flat at the bottom, which activates a bit more tricep, but you're not quite as strong on this, but this is a good alternative. And on this position you can do from here, and you pull down. This is a triceps rope pull down. Or if you want to, you can hold the weight there, step forward slightly, support yourself with a straight back leg, nice flat back, elbows in nice and tight, and extend the weight away from you. And this is an overhead rope extension. Now this one's quite an advanced exercise, it's quite hard, but it works very well, it's very effective. This is an overhead rope extension. And again, you push the rope away and just turn the thumbs down at the bottom. Okay, and I'll show you one, the same move again using dumbbells. Okay, so if you want to get your dumbbell equipment or bars, you can do this exercise without a machine, using either dumbbells, again, or use a straight bar, or what we call an EZ curl bar, variety of different bars. But basically it's this move. Lay down, extend the weights away, roll the shoulders back. Now obviously keep the weights as a good shoulder width apart. And all you're going to do now is you're going to lower the weights to the side of the ears and then extend them back out again. This is called a dumbbell tricep extension. It's very good if you've actually got elbow problems because it doesn't put any stress on the elbow at all. An alternative would be to use a bar such as this, where you'd have, instead of having a neutral grip there, you'd have a pronated grip like this. But it's basically the same exercise. This just puts a little bit more stress as it turns the wrist slightly, puts a bit more stress into the elbow. And that's the alternative for bench work on triceps. Okay, right. Next one we work on biceps. It does the opposite of the tricep. The only thing the bicep does is flexes the arm. This is the only thing the bicep will do. But part of its move actually involves this what's called supination, this roll over of the thumb. So full range of motion on the biceps will start from a neutral position there to twist. So the first exercise is what we call a rotation curl. And I do them one arm at a time, alternate arms, like this. Again, soft knees, head up, put the shoulders back, stand nice and relaxed. Hands in a neutral position at the side. Take a big deep breath in to stabilise the torso. And twist. And bring it back down in the same way. So it comes up here and then it rotates over and back down. Common mistake with doing bicep curls is to try and get the weight to actually touch your shoulder, but I can hold that there all day. About 4 inches off the shoulder of the biceps at its peak point, so holding it there is much harder than letting it swing there. So it's always a controlled exercise. Keeping the elbows pointing down all the time, don't let them roll forward. And I tend to do one arm at a time, just allows me to focus better. Okay, an alternative would be to perform the exercise with the palms supinated all the time. This is quite effective for hitting the outer head, the top head of the bicep here. And it hits the top of the forearm. You're not quite as strong on this one, but it's quite a good one to, or the favourite of all the bodybuilders exercises, just a straight curl. And you can either do it with dumbbells in that position, or you can pick up a bar. These curl bars are designed to allow you to grip the bar without twisting the wrist around. But you can use either a straight bar or this kind of EZ curl bar. And all you do the same thing again. Stand nice and relaxed, knees soft, shoulders back, head up, big deep breath. And this is just a standard bicep curl using either a bar or dumbbells. Okay. Okay. A machine alternative for the biceps would be using a cable system again. We've got the multi-gym here, but in Greens or whatever they have the cable system. And again, same kind of thing, pick the weight up, shoulder apart, like this. Now this is quite hard because there's always tension on the biceps now, and it tends to pull them forward slightly, so they're slightly disadvantaged to curl with. But from here, curl up and back down. This is what's called a cable curl. This is the same move as with the free weights.